I would like to begin First Minister's questions today in response to Ruth Davidson's extraordinary allegations about me and my colleague to my left here. I find it utterly deplorable that there is any suggestion of foul play between me and my party member. What we have here is yet another dirty smear campaign tactic by the Better Together campaign. God only knows how many of these stories that have come out in the weeks and months leading up to this referendum vote, where the Scottish people will decide on their future, is just another attempt to distract the Scottish people on what is going to be the biggest decision of their lives. Well, what Mr. Salmond has continued to ignore during this referendum campaign are the facts. And the fact is, Mr. Salmond, that you and your colleague Nicola Sturgeon, as you pointed out sitting to your left, have been using campaign funds to fund your affair, and you are having an affair. We have all seen the video, Alex. We've all seen it. Just as you have done with any sort of expert opinions, facts, figures that have come out over the last few months, and indeed the last few days, of course, you have just simply swept them under the rug because you don't agree with them. You don't agree with them, Mr. Salmond, and so just because they don't agree with your, quite frankly, fantastical projections and prediction of what would happen following a yes vote come September the 18th, 2014, you have just swept them under the rug. And let me tell you, Mr. Salmond, I've seen under this ever-growing rug of yours, and it is awfully revealing. Ruth, darling, listen. We will not be dragged into this debate. Everybody knows, everybody from Aberdeen to Carnoustie, from Dundee to Glasgow knows that this is work of the Better Together campaign. That is to say, you, Mr. Cameron, Mr. Darling, the rest of the Better Together campaign, the Adams family of politics, if you will, you have superimposed mine and Nicola's faces onto this pornographic footage. I would advise you, Ruth, Miss Davidson, to focus your fingers on politics, legitimate politics, rather than spending your time with your fingers under rugs. That's right, Ruth. I can get personal too. Well, Mr. Salmond, in response to that, I'm going to actually say to you, I'm going to borrow the words, in fact, from a popular Scottish sketch show, Chewing the Fat, and say milk, lemonade, chocolate, milk, lemonade, chocolate. And come September the 18th, 2014, I would urge all Scottish voters to vote no, no, no.